Sometimes we just need to cover some ground to get to our next major destination. In these cases, we will usually book one-night stays at Horace Host or Cracker Barrels, but due to the extreme heat at this time of the year, we opted to stay in campgrounds so that we could run our AC units. Our first choices are Thousand Trails or state parks, but when none are available on our desired route, we will stay in a private campground. So our next leg, we will travel about 180 miles to OK RV Park in Dothan, Alabama for a quick overnight stay.
On the way, we came across this travel trailer sitting on its roof on the side of the road. It sure gave us a sickening feeling to see that.
We hope everybody was okay. This is the first RV-related accident we have seen in our 3 years on the road.
A-OK was just that, A-OK. As an RV park, it was fairly well maintained. The sites were all grass. We had full hookups, but we really didn't need them. We just needed electric for the heat. It was very, very hot and humid. So we were grateful for the electric. We spent the night and packed up and headed out the next morning. This is a quick overnight stay here at A-OK RV Campground in Alabama. It's in the middle of nowhere, really. It's not too far from the highway, but it was a nice stay. Quiet. Now we got to just disconnect electric and water, and we're not even going to dump the tanks because we've only been here one night. The next day we traveled about 200 miles north to just outside of Birmingham, Alabama, to Oak Mountain State Park. We sure wish we would have booked a longer stay here because the park was beautiful. The park was very large, had a lot of trails that we would have liked to have explored. But we only booked one night, so we just set up camp and jumped in the Jeep and quickly drove around the park just to take in as much of the sights as we could. We did go on a little hike, but we didn't allow enough time. It was getting dark and getting a little buggy, so we headed back to the camp. The cell service at Oak Mountain is pretty bad. We had no Verizon service and the T-Mobile service was very, very slow. And we were completely covered by trees, so we didn't even bother setting up the Starlink. I think we found a short trail to a waterfall. We'll see.
Half a mile, it said.
It's just a half-a-mile hike.
It's pretty, and it's not too hot.
Yeah, it's nice in the shade.
It's 91 otherwise.
Yeah. We'll go see if we can see the waterfall. I'm not having any hopes that there'll be water falling over it.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, how much water could be falling? But yeah, I like surprises.
Let's see.
It's a nice trail.
We're running out of time, so we didn't find the falls. But from the looks of this creek, it ain't really falling.
I think it fell.
Yeah, it fell.
And this was a fail on the falls.
We'd have to come back in like
fell.
April, I guess. The snow is melting.
We'll find some other falls and a bigger pop.
Yeah. So, wah, wah. It was a fail. Nice little hike anyways.
Yeah. But we didn't have hiking boots on. We only had sneakers on, which is fine, but I slipped a couple of times and stubbed my toe once. I don't know how people do this in flip-flops, but I've seen it.
All the time. We'll have to be better equipped the next time. think I know why they put benches here.
I do too. I'm taking them. I'm up to 145.
A little bit steep getting back. There's a ton of things to do here at Oak Mountain State Park.
Yeah.
There's lots of trails. They have archery, equestrian, boating. What else?
Like a water park and stuff.
Yeah, some sort of water skiing with jumps and stuff. That looked pretty cool.
Canoeing and kayaking,
Yeah.
fishing, archery.
And more trails. If you're into hiking, this is the park to visit.
Pretty big.
It's a big park.
It's Alabama's biggest. 10,000 acres.
Alabama's biggest state park. And we were here. Another day full of sunshine. That's nice. Well, we're checking out Oak Mountain State Park here in Alabama. I'm a little bit late. 10:30. We're supposed to be out of here by 11. I lost track of time. I was working on a video and it just got away from me. So we're going to pack it up and hit the road. The important thing about traveling like this is even if you're a little bit late, you got to slow down and pay attention to what you're doing. It's when you rush that you wind up doing something wrong or forgetting something. So we're going to take our time, but we should be able to make it out of here in a half an hour, no problem. As long as we're off the site, I'm happy. But we're going to pack it up and get going. Taking the opportunity of our short drive today. We're only going to drive about an hour, and so I'm taking the opportunity to sanitize the freshwater tank. So I'm going to fill it with fresh water, add a cup of, sorry about that, it's a lawnmower. Filling the freshwater tank, and I'm adding a cup of bleach to get stirred up as we make our drive to our next destination. That'll sanitize the fresh water tank. I'll then flush it through all of the lines, and when we get to our final destination, we'll hook up the fresh water and we'll flush the entire system until we can't smell the bleach anymore. And we're off.
Checking out of Oak Mountain State Park in Alabama. It was nice and quiet. And
Too short of a stay though. It's just such a large state park. We didn't get to do half of what we could have done. We didn't get a hundredth of what we could have done here.
we're learning something about ourselves in that we don't like the one-night stays, especially a couple in a row. We like to stay at least 2 nights so that we have a day to explore if there is, in fact, something to see. If there isn't, then it's good to have a day to relax. So, and then there's the driving fatigue, which of course is really risky. So, we're going to try to avoid that from now on. We just kind of trying to get to the highlights of the trip and get to certain destinations that we wanted to spend. We don't need the dumpster, honey. Certain destinations that we wanted to spend like a week at. But just learning about ourselves, we think that we ought to slow down a little bit and spend 2 nights.
Yeah, I agree. From now on, I think that's going to be the rule.
The general rule. So,
Yeah, general rule. Sometimes, you know, we stay at Harvest Hosts.
absolutely.
And you can only stay 1 night there, so. But, you know, there's going to be the exception rather than the rule.
And we did single night stays 2 in a row. That's probably where we learned this about ourselves. It's too much setting up, tearing down. Because we minimize the setup and tear down, but still setting up, tearing down, and then driving again, and not enough of what we should be doing, which is relaxing. That's what retirement's about, right?
And exploring.
And exploring, right. We went on a short hike yesterday, but it was, you know, a mile. And there's so many trails here. It would have been great to go for a 3-mile hike today. Or 5. We could have done 5 today. But anyway, we're learning. 3 years. This is, we're in our 3rd year. And we're still trying to figure this all out for ourselves.
I'm just gonna drive.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up.